I don't think there's anything further insofar as circumstances, whatever they may have been, drove huge premiums on COMEX, which had the effect of sucking out liquidity because of the arbitrage opportunity, physical liquidity out of other centres, particularly London, secondly Switzerland, and then some other centres as well. That, I think, I mean, obviously the premiums have diminished. I mean, there still sort of tend to be small premiums, if you like, on the futures market on COMEX in New York. But, the big rush, I think, has basically happened. My reading of it is that you've got to think in terms of the stands for delivery, which have yet to be delivered, which are still sitting in the COMEX warehouses. You can see the charts, if you like, of those totals over time, and quite clearly you've got two peaks. The first one was just after the COVID problem, when we had equally a crisis, and it was a crisis which led to gold being moved from London to COMEX. You may remember that. We have a second crisis now. It's less obvious because we don't have a COVID, if you like, driving it, but I have no doubt at all that it's a shortage which will persist. On top of that, I mean, we don't know who's been standing for delivery, but the rate of stand for delivery has increased roughly fourfold in the first quarter of this year over last year. This is, this, as I understand it, is much of it is yet to be delivered. We're talking about 400 tons in the first quarter. So that has to be covered, if you like, because otherwise, if you don't cover it as a bank, you're at risk. And so I think that does explain that. But there is another factor, and that is that because quite a lot of this gold was coming out of the Bank of England, and because, therefore, a lot of this gold, or some of this gold, was leased gold, which ordinarily would remain vaulted in the Bank of England and merely be a book entry transfer. Because that has come out, it has alerted every central bank with balances in both New York and also London, and I suppose also Switzerland, to the risk from leasing. And I think it means that leasing game is now stopping. I don't think any central bank will lease gold from this moment. Now, there are leases still running, and the problem with leases is that, you lose possession. It may remain vaulted, but you've lost possession. And furthermore, that gold may be rehypothecated into another lessor. So this is a situation which is actually very, very bad for any central bank wanting to protect itself against the ending, if you like, of the fiat currency system. As far as the market is concerned, the withdrawal of this leasing is going to withdraw a very important part of the supply, which is necessary for the derivative system to work. It needs the liquidity, if you like, of leasing in order to work. That is now going. So what we have, I think, is even though the premiums have gone out of COMEX futures now, we have, I think, the potential for a systemic problem arising from the lack of supply in a market where the future value of paper currencies is diminishing. This is, it really is beginning to mount up. It's a number of things all coming together. I mean, there was a film a long time ago called The Perfect Storm, and I think it's an apt description for what is basically developing in the gold market.